man, it's starting to get warm down here in LA, and your consoles are actually a pizza oven. And we're back, DLG fam. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the new viewers. It's time to keep your consoles cool. Bienvenidos a todos al canal DLG. Gracias por tomar el tiempo en visitar nuestro canal. Llegó el verano y tenemos que mantener nuestras consolas lo menos caliente posible. So guys, yes, summer is finally here, and it's starting to kick us around a little bit here in LA. But when you're in the second floor, and as you know, heat does rise, you run into the issue where you got your consoles. You guys can't see it, but I got my PS5 to my left side, and right above that, I got my actual Xbox Series X. And yes, the consoles do run hot, especially these next gen consoles. So in today's video, I actually have something that's supposed to try to keep your console cool, and it really all comes down as to how cool is your actual room. What am I talking about? Woo! The SCRY Artic PS5 cooler. This sucker right here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans. And just to let you guys know, this is not an intercooler for your system. This is actually a fan, an exhaust fan to be exact, where you already know your PS5 draws air in from the top right hand corner, pulls it in, draws it out the exhaust. So this right here is gonna give your PS5 a little bit of that oomph to draw more air out, but it really depends on how hot your room is. Ambient temperature is a key element when using these types of devices. So we're gonna unbox this, put it to the test, and let you guys know if it's actually worthy to be able to slap it onto your PS5. And of course, we're gonna use a digital thermometer to see how hot is the PS5 running while it's actually without the actual fan, and how hot is it running after we install it. So let's get to the unboxing, guys, and see what's inside this little box. All right, guys, check it out. I know you see a reflection, so let's get this out of the wrapper. And there it is, guys, a SCRY Artic PS5 cooler. And this device itself has 6 hyperfluid fans, patented lamellar frame, AI as quiet as a library. We're gonna find that out, right? Super speed USB port, which more than likely, I think they're talking about a USB 3.0, plug and play, flexible orientation. That means you can use it both vertical or horizontal, and functional illumination. It actually lights up white. It supports the standard disc console or the digital one. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box, and then we'll talk about the specs on this device. It's all right. All right, so you get the design of the actual fan right here. All right, let's take this out right here and see what comes in it. Okay, a line top notch USB connect, and clip the bottom latch. Hey, that looks pretty nice. Okay. All right, here's the small fan right here. So that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fins. So you get 3 fans with 7 fins, and you get 3 fans with 5 fins. Okay, so here is the actual USB connection. As you guys can see, that's USB 3.0, and they allow you to go ahead and connect it in the back as well. That way you don't cancel out that actual connection and you still have access to it. This looks actually pretty nice. It's not as bulky as I thought it was going to be. Material looks rather sturdy, and only one thing left to do is install it. But what else comes in the box? That's it. That's all that comes in here. All right, so as far as specs go, the fan speed of this actual device is from 4,000 RPM all the way to 10,000 RPMs. That's pretty fast. This is an exhaust fan. As mentioned before, it does have 6 fans, as you guys can see. I did talk about the 7 and 5 blades. And also, the noise is less or greater than 45 dBA. The connection is a USB type A. As I showed you guys before, you guys can see it right there. It is a USB 3.0 plug, and it only weighs 125 grams. So that way, if you actually have it mounted like I do on the wall, it's not gonna weigh down on your PS5, and the material is made out of ABS. All right, so let's go ahead and mount this on the PS5, run a quick test as to how hot the PS5 is running right now. Give me a second and I'll tell you guys how hot is my room. So my room is about 76 degrees right now, and that's actually because it's in the morning. In the afternoon, we do get a whopping 85 degrees up here, but hey, I got ACs to keep me cool. Unfortunately, I cannot have them on right now, and I can also prove to you guys that the ambient temperature plays an important role when you're using devices just like this. All right, guys, so here's the actual fan, and what you want to do is you want to make sure you connect the actual USB connector to the first USB port on the actual PS5, and these fins up top actually go, I'll show you guys where it goes. It goes on these two top fins right here. Then you go ahead and you latch it on to the bottom of the PS5. So let's go ahead and try to mount this and see how difficult it is or how easy it is to install it. All right, there we go. You got to make sure that the bottom clips are in. All right, as you guys heard it, it went ahead and clipped in. There you go. So I'll show you guys real quick how it looks. All right, guys, there is the fan that's already installed. Bam, look at that, guys. That's how it looks on the PS5, and that actually doesn't look too bad at all. We're gonna go ahead and remove the fan, play a few games on the PS5, get the temperature up a little bit, and then show you guys with a digital thermometer how hot the PS5 is actually running without the fan. Then we're gonna do vice versa, install the fan, play it a little bit, and show you guys what the results are. All right, guys, we're gonna check the exhaust temperature right now. The PS5 just booted up. We have not played the game just yet, and we're gonna play Horizon Forbidden West. This game should put an actual toll on the PS5, and let's see how it goes. All right, so it's running at about 96.8 degrees without it being used with a game. So let's go ahead and start the game. Let's just get this guy right here. All right, a little bit more, and we got him. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and go back to the actual PS5 and see what the temperature is. All right, so we've been running the game for about maybe 5 minutes or so. Let's see how hot the PS5 is actually running. Oh, we got this sucker to a little boiling temperature. All right, 128.8 degrees. Okay, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and install the fan and see how is this gonna benefit the actual PS5 as far as cooling. Remember, guys, I did mention the ambient temperature. It plays an important factor when you're using PS5 cooling devices, because obviously it's drawing air from your room. So if your room is hot, guess what? It's pulling in pure hot air. So my opinion would be run the actual cooler if you have an AC, or if you're able to keep your room at a controlled temperature, let's say about 72 degrees, that would be ideal. So let's go ahead and install this and see how does it work. As you guys can hear it, it's on, it's blowing out all that air, and let's see. Okay, do you guys believe that? 114 degrees? Let's try to get in a little bit further and see if we're actually able to get this digital thermometer to get another reading. Okay, 125.8, that sounds about right, because prior to using the fan, it was 126 and some change. So let's continue playing the game and see how does it perform after another 5 minutes. All right, guys, we're gonna continue the battle with Alloy. We just gotta get a little bit of our health back up, but let me know down in the comments below if you guys do use a PS5 cooler, and what do you think of them? Do you think the PS5 benefits from it? I personally think, as mentioned before, if you do have a controlled room temperature, then you can benefit from it because you're able to draw in cool air. But right now while I'm filming, it's kind of hard to keep the room at a certain temperature because I do have to turn off the ACs. That way the actual microphone doesn't pick up the sound. So this is an excellent test as far as ambient temperature goes. All right, guys, so let's go back to the PS5 and see what the temperature looks like. So here we go. It's been about maybe 10 to 15 minutes that we've played the PS5 without the fan and with the fan. So first, let's get a reading of how hot my room is. So the room right now is about 87 degrees. That is freaking hot. So let's check the PS5. All right, 124.6. So it did drop about 2 degrees, I would say. Give or take a little bit over 2 degrees, which is not that bad. But remember, guys, ambient temperature is the key element here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my ACs now, and let's lower the temperature down in the room to see how well does it perform. So just to prove to you guys, the ACs are actually on, and there is one right there, as you guys can see. That one right there, that's right behind the desk, so that should cool off the area quite a bit. and help out our boy over here, Mr. PS5.
6 hours later.
All right, guys, so as you guys can hear, the AC is still running. Let's go ahead and check the temperature of the room and see how hot it is up here. So we were able to drop it a considerable amount, 77.7 degrees. Now let's see how hot the PS5 is operating. Look at that right there, guys. 112.5 with the fan on. And we're gonna go ahead and play it for an additional 5 minutes. We're gonna take it off and see how hot the PS5 runs when it's running off with ambient air. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and check the actual temperature on the PS5 running with the fans. We're gonna remove them and then do this once again. So let's go ahead and check the actual temperature and see how hot it is. Look at that, 112.5 degrees, controlled ambient temperature, and with the fans on. Let's go ahead and remove it and see what is the difference. All right, so it's been removed. Now we're gonna give it another 5 minutes of playtime. So it was at 112 degrees with the fan on. Let's go play a little bit more. All right, guys, so the AC is actually still on. We're gonna go ahead and try to see if we could purposely get into a battle to get the PS5 temperature a little bit higher. That way we wanna determine if it's worth it to have the actual exhaust fan connected to the PS5 with a controlled ambient temperature. Alright, guys, so let's go back and check the temperature of the PS5 without the actual cooling fan. Alright, guys, so it's been about roughly another 5 minutes. Let's check the temperature of the room. Is at about 73 degrees. That is a nice drop in temperature in my room, as you guys could tell from when we started the video. But let's check the temperature of the PS5 without the actual exhaust fan. Look at that right there, guys. 122.4 degrees. That's 10 degrees higher. If you guys remember, the PS5 with exhaust cooling fan in a controlled temperature environment was running at 112. So what does the verdict say? If you do have a room that has a controlled temperature and you want to drop down the temperature of your PS5 a nice amount, give or take about 10 degrees, then it's worth installing the actual exhaust fan. If you're in a room where the temperature is not controlled, it's not gonna make a difference if you have the exhaust fan connected because of the fact that your room is already hot. So what are you doing? You're drawing in all the hot air instead of nice fresh air. All the exhaust fan is doing is drawing more air out, and it's pulling in a lot more of that hot air in your room. All right, guys, there it is, the SCRY Artic PS5 cooler, and I'm amazed. It actually dropped down the temperature of the PS5 by 10 degrees. You guys saw on the digital thermometer, without the fan, 122, with the fan, 112. So more than likely, what are you gonna opt for? You're gonna wanna opt for a console that's actually running a lot more cooler, at least by 10 degrees. 10 degrees in the summer, that's a lot, and you know that makes a difference. Remember, guys, this device is actually operating in a controlled room environment because of my air conditioning unit. If you do not have an air conditioning unit, this more than likely is not gonna work for you because you're drawing in all that hot air as mentioned before. But if you are in a controlled environment, hey, might as well give it a shot. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below as far as to where you could actually get this device itself, and let me know down in the comments below if you are running a cooling device on your PS5 and what do you think of it. Do you think it's a myth? I just showed you guys 10 degrees less in a controlled room environment. So if you're a dad, a gaming dad looking for a way to cool off that jet engine that's inside your PS5, don't forget to check out my latest video. But till next time, guys, I'm tEcK. Peace out. With the summer here, we all want to keep cool, including your consoles.